2026. So more, I mean, we're not stopping now. We got more features going on this year. In fact, just recently we had a release of Database Health Monitor, which included a new plan viewer feature. This is really interesting. So, gosh, it was maybe 3 months ago about that. Mitch, you and I were talking, and we were really diving into some plan analysis using the SQL Server plan viewer and just kind of scrolling around as you do, scroll to the right and then scroll down and looking for the percentages. And I think you said to me, should we create our own plan viewer or something that maybe makes this a little bit easier? And I don't know, is that something like that, Mitch? And
it was the fact that we had to spend even just a couple minutes trying to scroll through each plan, trying to figure out where that higher percentage was or where a warning was sitting.
Yeah, and my response at that time was, oh no, we don't want to do that. We don't want to reinvent. I mean, SQL Server does a pretty good job with that. And I do not want to spend time to go and do that. Well, we got a little bit further into things and we eventually ended up adding our own plan viewer. And this is available now for anywhere that we capture plans, like the blocking query monitor, like the long running queries, like high CPU queries in the performance viewer, where if there was a plan available at the time we track that information, we capture that plan and you can go view it, not with the way SQL Server shows it, where you can have to drag around, but it analyzes all of it and it comes back with reports that say, here's the one thing that's taking all the CPU. And you just click on that and it goes to tell you, well, why is that? Or not, I shouldn't say it takes all the CPU, it takes all the cost. And then you click on it and figure out, well, why is it taking all the cost in the plan? Why is that taking 99% of the whole plan? And it analyzes it, and instead of saying implicit conversion, it's going to tell you what the implicit conversion is happening on and what that really means. If there's an index seek going on versus or an index scan versus a seek, it's going to tell you those kind of things. For missing indexes, it's going to recommend that as well. But it analyzes it in a whole lot more depth than what you get in what SQL Server normally shows you on the plans.
It's a lot more digestible if you're not spending every day, day in and day out, like reading query plans and figuring out what all the little doodads and doohickeys in the plan truly mean. It's way easier to read from an overall level.
Yeah, and one of the big things that you brought up again was the performance viewer. And it's like, if you're not like a database expert, if you're just like a sysadmin that got promoted to DBA and you're just happen to take care of the servers and you get this tool and you're just like, okay, well, it's slow every day around 12. So let me pop up performance viewer. And then it's like, oh, look, immediately you can go see the high CPU queries that are causing the slowness and then just analyze them real quick and be like, oh, I just need to go fix this query that probably wasn't written correctly. Or I need to go fix my table schema because there's implicit converts happening.
An example of that query that we use in there to go and display the high CPU, we were working with a client on a performance assessment where they hit a point where the CPU was so high at certain points of the day that it would just knock their system out. I mean, it would lock things up and backlog it so that nobody could get through and do anything. Well, we were able to find that, analyze the plan, and make it to the point that they are no longer CPU constrained in that system because of that. Anyway, yeah, that's definitely cool feature. So what else do we got going on in 2026?
One of the projects that you brought in was the query loading ramp. That one was one of your brainchilds after we had done some, performance. They were doing load testing on a server for a client. So we were standing by with our performance monitor and we were like, instead of going through a complicated load testing tool, why don't we just have one where you can put in a stored procedure or a simple query?
Anything we want to cover before we kind of go into the closing at this point?
I mean, one of the ones that I wanted to circle back on is we have transitioned to Database Health Monitor as a paid licensing option, but we wanted to keep it extremely affordable compared to other SQL Server monitoring tools that currently exist. So, I mean, we can talk about some of the July promotions for Database Health Monitor, but outside of July, Database Health Monitor, if you're monitoring a single instance, is $10 a month to run that.
Yeah, and that's the interesting thing too with that is that we originally had a pricing model where it was like one price for 10 or less servers, and we thought that was a really good price. And people came along and said, "Well, I only have one server I want to monitor, and can I get it cheaper?" So that's where we put together that $10 a month for a single server monitoring package. If you buy that through our online class with it, and or is it what $99 a year or something like that if you pay the yearly on it. And there there is no competitor out there doing anything like this that you could get anywhere near that. I mean, you'd be over $1,000 for monitoring a single SQL server with most of those. So
And even if you are monitoring more than one SQL Server, 10 a month is still only $30, and up to 20 is $40. So it's not like we're stepping up in price in ginormous amounts. It's a very affordable tool compared to your $1,000 a month options out there.
the cost per instance actually goes down to less than $10 a month when you go for that 10 or 20 instances that you're monitoring.
Yeah, the other thing is we've cooked the monitoring alerts and stuff directly into SQL Server. Like, it just uses database mail, which a lot of the other competitors that have alerting, they run it all through their own servers and stuff and send you like a personalized email. But ours just uses your own database, so it doesn't even have to leave your system to send you alerts, which makes them faster and potentially more reliable.
Yep, absolutely. So I think throughout this year, we're going to continue to add new features and continue to improve the system. We've got several clients we work with who regularly provide us feedback, and we're probably doing a release about every month. And we appreciate the feedback. If you're using the product and there's something that's maybe not quite right or not what you're expecting, let us know. We want to know that so we can help improve it.
Yeah, it definitely has helped shape. I mean, 2026 in general, a lot of the features have been shaped by user feedback from the community. So we are listening to every email that comes in, and super grateful for those that send us that feedback.
Thanks for watching. I'm Steve, and I hope you've enjoyed this video. If you like it, please click the thumbs up icon. And if you want to subscribe, click subscribe to our channel and click the bell icon to get notified when we have new videos. All right, have a great day.